I cannot even consider putting time, effort, invest anything on a relationship. So I cannot give you fake hopes.
I wish I would have had all the information, and you're not ready, and I just didn't. I just want out. I'm done with the whole situation.
I'm gonna stay with them.
You can't go stay with them.
Yes, I can.
No, Brandon,
I can do whatever I want.
You are not go.
Can I go with you guys?
If you are freaking go there, Brandon doesn't come back to home.
Gino and Matt do actually have a few things in common beyond their taste in women. You see, the day after that disastrous party, both of them are set to get rejected. Now, as for Julia and Brandon is gonna have to pick a side, his mummy and daddy or his wife. But Julia might not like the decision he makes. Now, before we get to them, let's rewind to the start and catch up with Jasmine and Matt as they talk about what happened the night before.
Gino is like such a trash person. Like, he did not just lie to me and manipulate me, but he also did it with her.
Pot, kettle, anyone? Sorry, but I don't think Jasmine has a leg to stand on when she's talking about being a trash person. But Matt must be getting sick of hearing about Gino and all the issues that Jasmine has with him. Like, he listens, but he definitely doesn't seem impressed. I can only imagine that after sleeping with someone for months, after even allowing them to live with you while you care for them, being constantly reminded about their husband must get old. Now, Jasmine says that she's very sorry for attacking Natalie as she did, but it was because I was so angry at Gino, she says.
While he was flirting with me and playing these games like, oh, there is still hope between us, he was telling Natalie he was done with me. He lied to our faces.
Jasmine declares that she's now done with this relationship, and while we've heard that a number of times before, Matt, of course, is quick to jump in and say that Gino is selfish, he only cares about himself. He probably doesn't even care about Natalie either, he's probably with her just to make you mad, Jasmine, Matt says. Jasmine can't get her head around that. Like, she seems genuinely incapable of understanding why Gino would be doing something like that.
I mean, we're too old to be playing these games.
He's at the end of his life. I don't know why he's wasting his time. 5 more years, he's gonna be wearing Depends, eating applesauce.
Look, the way that Matt constantly attacks Gino's age is childish. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of things that Gino does to warrant being made fun of, right? But his age isn't one of them. Like, if that's the only big attribute he has over Gino, then it doesn't exactly say much about his character, does it? Now, for what it's worth, Matt says that he was nervous going into Dana's party, but everything has now changed.
After the party, I'm feeling a lot better, to be honest with you, because it's just one step closer to her being done with Gino and being done with talking about this topic of Gino.
Now, Jasmine again says that she and Gino are done. I was holding on to the hope that maybe we could work things out, she admits, but after what happened at the party, I know for a fact that our marriage is over. But that now means that she's scared for the future. All of her hopes and dreams, everything about her life in America was built around being in a couple with Gino. Now that she's no longer in that couple, she doesn't know what she's gonna do. Like, she's even, shock horror, she's even seriously considering the prospect of moving back to Panama. Like, as if somehow that's a terrible suggestion. I'm sure her kids would quite like to see her again. You know, she is their mum after all. But Sidepiece Matt doesn't want her to contemplate such an idea.
I don't feel like you going back to Panama is the answer. You're better off just staying here. I'm gonna help you figure this out, all right? Let me just help you.
Now, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, given that, you know, she hasn't seen her kids in well over a year at this point. Like, it's completely within character that once again, she puts someone else over them. She, of course, listens to Matt. Now, he has his own reasons for wanting her to stay. He says he has very deep feelings for her. He considers her more than just his roommate, which hilariously is what she introduces him as. And while he wants to tell her how he feels, understandably, he's nervous.
I don't want it to end up destroying our friendship, but I feel like I don't want to waste my time thinking that there might be a possibility me and her could be together if there isn't gonna be anything.
Oh, the hilarious karma of this whole situation. Like, the man that inserted himself into Jasmine, the man that inserted himself into Gino and Jasmine's marriage, The guy that agitated and helped bring down an already failing marriage. The guy that's sleeping with Jasmine, letting her live with him, and yet has still been friend-zoned, is now desperately whining about how he hopes he can get out of the friend zone and be with Jasmine forevermore, as if somehow she's some great big prize. So how's Jasmine gonna take that news?
Honestly, I would like it if you would consider if you're gonna move on from Gino and maybe give me a chance.
You?
Yeah.
Why does Jasmine seem so surprised? Like, surely this isn't that much of a shock. He's been going out of his way to look after her, house her, feed her, drive her around, satisfy her. And surely she must have known that this day would come. Whatever way you look at it, right, whatever they have here, their situation has gone way beyond friendship. And it's been that way for months now. But while Jasmine doesn't seem to know how to respond to Matt, by contrast, seems very sure about his feelings for her.
I don't know how to tell you. You know, you're my best friend. I wanna say that I love you.
Jasmine might act shocked, right? And maybe she is. Maybe she really didn't think that he'd say it out loud yet. But to the camera crew, she does admit that she's kind of known this for a while now. She's felt how much he loves her. Now, the truth is, she cares about him too. He's a lovely guy. He's treated me very well, she admits.
If I have met you under other circumstances, I will be at this point absolutely madly in love, obsessed with you.
But, she says, and there is a very big but, I'm coming out of a very toxic 5-year relationship with Gino. Yes, it might now be over, but I still need time, she says. I need time to get over it. Like, Jasmine isn't ready to jump into another relationship right now. Now, she was more than ready to live and sleep with him, but I guess him asking her to care about him too is one step too far for her.
I cannot even consider putting time, effort, invest anything on a relationship. So I cannot give you fake hopes.
So despite the rejection, Matt says that he's not going to give up. He says that Jasmine is worth waiting for and worth being patient for. He's not going to disappear. But what he doesn't yet realise is that Gino is also having a similar experience. You see, after what happened at the party, things between Gino and Natalie are in a terrible place.
I asked Natalie if I can come over and talk to her, and if I don't fix things, then I might not see her again.
Now, when Gino makes it to Natalie's room to see her, he's immediately confronted by the fact that she's packing her luggage, which isn't exactly a good sign. Without any small talk, and none needed to be fair, she tells him that she's still furious with him for allowing her to go into that situation blind, for not being honest with her, for not telling her where exactly things stood between him and Jasmine.
If I would have known that there's any possibility that there's a reconciliation, or that she didn't have the closure, then I wouldn't have come. It was important that she had closure.
Gino says that he thought Jasmine did have closure. After all, I did tell her that I wanted a divorce, he says. But he's also conveniently forgetting that he also told her, whilst having drinks, that he wasn't so sure about that divorce anymore. Now, when Natalie reminds him of this, when she makes it clear how unfair it was that everyone in that room knew about it but her, Gino, rather than apologising, chooses to focus on completely the wrong thing. He instead goes off on a rant about Matt.
Look at Matt. Oh, I'm Rico Suave. Oh, I have no problem with the women. But Matt is like so short, how is he gonna get a date?
Yeah, Natalie's face at the end there says it all. Instead of empathising with her, instead of apologising, instead of trying to understand her feelings or reassure her, Gino is instead angry and jealous about Matt. It's quite funny, isn't it? Both Gino and Jasmine seem to be using their new partners as sounding boards to rant about their old partners. Either way, neither Matt nor Natalie signed up for that. Like, Natalie has heard enough. She came to Michigan for Gino, but Gino wasn't there for her. That's it. That's all she needs to know. She doesn't want to hear anything more.
I wish I would have had all the information, and you're not ready, and I just didn't. I just want out. I'm done with the whole situation.
Natalie finishes packing her bags and says that she wishes Gino all the best. But she also wishes that he could have just been honest with her. He could have told her the truth without dragging her into this mess. Like, you can completely understand her position. She's been against her will. Unlike Matt, she, against her will, has been dragged into this very messy, very toxic marriage and ultimately ridiculed and embarrassed on TV for millions to see. Yeah, it's no wonder that she's done with it. She's done with the whole situation and she's done with Gino.
I feel like I was used in their silly little toxic drama, which I don't have time for. I'm not the one. I'm not that woman that wants to be a part of that.
As Natalie leaves for the final time, Gino tries to follow her and talk to her. But Natalie has nothing to say to him. He had his chance and he blew it. But, of course, no surprises, as is a trend with Gino. He continues to blame everyone else for his situation but himself.
We got along so good, but Dana, Michelle, and Jasmine ruined the whole thing.
Yes, Gino, Dana, Michelle, Jasmine, they all do have a role in this, of course they do. But the truth is, even if Jasmine didn't come and make a huge scene, right, Natalie would still have been done the moment that she found out Gino was a liar, that he was still actively trying to reconcile with Jasmine. Ultimately, the final nail in the coffin was his own lies. His lies ruined this relationship, not Jasmine. But speaking of unexpected party guests, Julia also happens to be dealing with some of her own. Now, first things first, before we get into their storyline this week, Julia and Brandon actually had some huge news to share off-screen this week.
Hey guys, it's Brandon.
Julia.
And Nala.
And we have a big news. We are pregnant!
And it is exciting and it's a little scary, but we can't wait to share the next chapter of our journey with you guys.
Thank you so much for all of your love and support. And kissy for Nala. Mwah!
Yeah, that's massive news. Huge congratulations to them both, especially as we know how important a baby was to Brandon. Like, they were both very vulnerable and honest about this on The Last Resort last season. So to see that they now are pregnant and expecting a little bundle of joy is massive news. I'm very happy for them. But, and I'm calling it right now, I can already picture the storylines that await us for future seasons. You know, the overbearing grandparents and the clash of parenting styles. Either way, all that awaits us sometime in the future. But coming back to this episode, we join Julia and Brandon at their home where once again, Ron and Betty have shown up uninvited.
This is why I say it's like you maybe don't should have a kid.
Yeah, but we had to see your parents. I mean, we loved
I know,
it.
but we want to spend time alone.
Heaven forbid, Julia might want to spend some time at home alone with her parents, having not seen them for years. Like, that just doesn't matter to Betty and Ron. Seeing as they don't seem to respect Julia's boundaries anyway, they seem to believe it's their God-given right to show up and stay for as long as they want. Like, I'm sorry, some people don't agree with me, I know, but I completely understand why Julia is annoyed by this.
I think Betty know what kind of button she needs to push to make me upset. It's my parents' first time in my house and I want to spend time and I want to Betty pull all attention to her.
Now, the slight silver lining here is that at least her parents do seem to enjoy the food that Ron and Betty brought with them. But that's no consolation for Julia. She's still frustrated. I mean, not only did Julia not expect and not want them there, but let's not forget, the last time they all saw each other, they all turned on her. That drama has yet to be resolved. They haven't talked about that fight yet. But now here they are, here's Ron and Betty acting like everything is fine. Now, of course, as always, they say that they're only doing this to try and be nice. It's not our fault that Julia never appreciates all the effort that we go to, they say. But that's not how it is. Like, the truth is, just because you do something with the best of intentions, that doesn't give you a free pass to do anything you want.
Yeah, we should normally talking about before we do something.
So I think if it's okay
You
with
know
you.
what, though? I disagree with that wholeheartedly. You know, sometimes it's fun to have fun.
Yeah, but Julia definitely isn't having fun. Now, Ron says that Julia should be grateful that they wanted to do this, but their attitude is absolutely infuriating. Like, how can they really expect her to be grateful for something she didn't even want? All she wanted was alone time with her parents. She hadn't seen them in years. Why can't they respect that? Like, the fact that they're now acting like Julia should be grateful that they trampled all over her wishes, they completely ignored her boundaries, is absolutely wild to me. But if that's Ron and Betty's attitude, how do we think Brandon feels about this? Anyone want to take a guess?
Yeah, Julia, I feel like you're the one being antagonistic.
Now you.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not against you. Stop. You think everybody's against you.
In a twist that shocks absolutely no one, Brandon takes his parents' side. He tells his wife that she needs to learn to be nice because he's tired and frustrated with this. Like, really? He's the one that's frustrated? The truth is, he's never going to be able to put up boundaries with his parents. He doesn't seem to realise that this dynamic that they have, their relationship, isn't really healthy. He's a married man. He needs to get himself out of mummy and daddy's back pocket. Now, with her husband turning against her, Julia says that she's tired and just wants to go to bed. But with that, Betty storms off.
We're gonna get a
We're
hotel.
gonna find a hotel. We can talk to you guys in the morning. Maybe you'll feel better.
Them are unexpected came. That's my house.
I'm gonna go stay with them.
Wait, hold on. They're going to find a hotel. So I guess that means they came here knowing full well that they weren't going to drive back home, but didn't think to make any arrangements in advance for somewhere to sleep. Like, there's something about that makes me think maybe in the back of their minds they were still clinging on to the hope that they might be able to reclaim the room they think is theirs and kick Julia's mum out of it onto the sofa or something. Now, the problem is, Brandon isn't going to let his mummy leave without him. You see, he chooses to leave his wife and his in-laws and follow his parents.
You are not go.
Can I go with you guys?
If you are freaking go there, Brandon doesn't come back to home. I'm not kidding, Brandon. That is enough. That's not gonna be your home anymore.
Yeah, if I were Julia, I'd actually follow through with that threat. I'd change the locks. At least that way Betty won't have a working key anymore. Brandon has made a very clear choice here between his mum and Julia, and that's a decision he's going to need to live with. Like, when the time does eventually come that he's going to need to return home, I've got a feeling neither his wife nor his in-laws are going to receive him with open arms. All I can say is, I really hope when he becomes a dad, he'll learn to set much, much better boundaries. But I wouldn't hold my breath.